Good evening, students. Today we are going to discuss on database metadata and other statement objects. Okay, first we'll see metadata. The metadata is nothing but whenever we want to get the internal information of a table or of a database, okay, then we can go through the metadata object. Okay, for getting of a metadata, we have a method in the connection class is called as a get metadata, and within that we can access the individual methods, okay, which are related to the database and which are related to the table. Say if I require the database product name, that is what type of a database it is connected, the database product name and version of the product we can retrieve. In the similar way, we can get the column names, we can get the column counts and column data types, and we can get the column attributes, and we can get the entity or integrity constraints of the columns. So each and everything we can get with the help of a metadata. And here we have two types of a metadata. One is related to the databases and other one is related to the result set. Database gives us the database information and result set gives the table related information. Okay, this is a sample code which is used to retrieve the database related information using a database metadata. So using a connection object, you can retrieve the get metadata, which gives us the database metadata object. So using that, you can retrieve the database product name and you can retrieve the database product version. Okay. And this is a sample code which is used to connect to the Oracle. Okay, similarly, when whatever we have discussed in the previous classes, we are tried to connect with the MySQL, and similarly we can connect to the Oracle also. Okay, this is the driver for the oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle driver. So here the convenient part within the JDBC is we need not to do the changes within the code. Say for example, if you are working with the MySQL at present and later you want to change to the Oracle, so only the thing you need to change is driver name and URL is only the thing you need to change. So remaining all part of a code is the same for multiple databases. Okay, so you can specify the URL in the class in a driver, and next is you need to mention your URL, that is with the jdbc.jdbc:/oracle:/thin. Okay, that is you are using a thin driver of the Oracle, and here this is the first one is the domain name of the your database, that is the system of your system located with your database, and next is the port number 1521, and this is your database name, Bob B01 is the database name. So similarly we need to add the username and password also, so that only we can enter into the database and we can execute the different types of statements. So we'll give the username and password. Now you need to create a connection object with the driver manager.get connection of your database URL and username and password. Now it is connected to your URL. Only this part of a code is different for the different types of databases. The remaining all statement creation and executing of your select statements and retrieving the data and displaying of other data. So each and everything is the same. Okay. Similarly, if you want to you want to connect to the cloud databases like a Cloudscape, so then you can use the driver related to the Cloudscape, that is com.cloudscape.core.jdbc driver. This is the driver for Cloudscape, and then you can mention your required URL for the database. So jdbc:/Cloudscape, that is because the vendor of the database is Cloudscape, and rocks4370 is the database name. So once you are mentioned the URL and driver, then you can create a connection. So driver manager.get connection of your URL, then it will be connected to your database. Then the remaining part is the same. You will be create a statement and then specify your required select statements and execute the select statement and display the data from your database. Okay. Next we will see how the data types are changed with the JDBC to the Java. So JDBC data types is a little different than that of your regular Java data types. So Boolean will be represented with the BIT, that is binary digit, and byte is represented as tiny int, and short as small int as the integer, long as the big int, float as the real, double as the float or double. Byte array can be represented as a binary data type or var binary data type or long binary data type. String is the different types of string data types, like char is a fixed character type, variable character is varchar, and long varchar. Similarly for numerics and others, we'll have the numeric type and decimal type. Dates, we have the date type. If you want to store the time information, you have the time data type. And if it is an image or any multimedia data, you can create a CLOB or BLOB data types. And if you want to store the multiple values in a single variable, you can use the array data type. And you can use the, say for example, you don't want to allow the duplicates, then you can mention the distinct. And you can create a structure in the JDBC with the struct data type. Reference types you can specify with the REF. Java objects you can create with the Java object type. Next we will see the different types of statements that are used within the SQL. So already in the previous class we have seen how to create a normal statement object and execute the insert, update, delete and select statements. So now we'll see a prepared statement. So this prepared statement is little different from the statement object. The difference is, say for example, while creating a statement, I don't want to mention the values for my variables. Then you can use a prepared statement, and it is also called as pre-compiled statement. That is, once you create the statement, then it will be compiled. And whenever you are specifying a values for that and for that statement, and whenever you are executing it, then only it will be executed. So the compiled statement will be executed, so that it takes a very less time to execute the statement. So compared to the statement object, it takes a very less time to execute the prepared statement. So here the main difference in the code is, first we will specify the type of a statement. So here the type of a statement as a prepared statement. So first we need to create our required SQL statement. So this is our SQL statement. Here I am specifying that update the table name authors set equals to last name is the one of my column equals to question mark. Okay, another column is the author ID. Second column is the author ID. So here I am specifying a question mark. That is, without giving the values, I am just giving a question mark. Okay. So within my prepared statement object, that is connection.prepare statement, I am specifying this SQL statement here. So now for these question marks, we need to send the values while executing the statement. Until unless we need not to mention the values. Only whenever you are executing a statement, before execution of a statement, we need to set the values for these parameters. Okay. So this is the setting of a first parameter for name. So here we need to mention the PS is our prepared statement object. Set string is the method. This method will be deferred based on the type of a column. If the column type is a string, you can use a set string. If it is a number, set int. If it is a double, set double. If it is a date, we can use a set date. Next, it takes two parameters. First parameter is the index of the column. That is, the index of the column is as per this SQL statement. That is, the first column in this SQL statement is the last name. Second column in this SQL statement is the author ID. So 1 is for last name and 2 is for author ID. So 1 comma within the double quotes you can mention your required author name. And next is for the set string of second column, that is second parameter, and the value is 212. The author ID is a 212. Okay. Now you can execute this update statement with a ps.execute update. Okay, so here the row will be updated. It shows the number of rows are updated, and you can execute and you will get the number of rows updated for this update statement. So here this the passing of a parameters is very easy within this prepared statement. So we need not to concatenate any values, and we need not to concatenate any parameters and values. So directly you can mention the question marks as per the number of values you are required, and while executing that statement you can mention the parameter number and the value. So now the prepared statement just will give some small explanation for this. So best thing is within the prepared statement is this is called as a parsed SQL statement, and it checks the syntax and it checks the semantics. Okay, and the statement will be compiled previously, so compiled earlier, so that the same statement will be executed in the further steps of your program. So next is general usage of this prepared statement is for creating of a parameterized statements, and whenever you are not aware of your values while creating a statement, then also we can use a prepared statement. That is, you want to give the chance to the user to pass the parameter values and take the values later in your program. Okay, then you can use the prepared statement. Okay, and similarly the same code. Next type of statements is the callable statements, which are used especially for stored procedures and functions. So this is whenever we are working with the SQL, will be have the three types of code. One is our normal single statement SQL statements, and another one is the multiple statements combination, the script, SQL script. So that SQL script will be used as the procedures or functions. Okay, so some databases supports only procedures, and some supports both functions and procedures. Okay, so all the procedures are called as the stored procedures. So these are also created as the normal objects, and whenever you are required to call the procedure, then you can use a callable statement from this or JDBC code. Okay, so stored procedures is generally uses the parameters. It's not mandatory. Whenever you are required any parameters, you can use the parameters. There are the three types of parameters. One is called as the in parameter, second one is the out parameter, and third one is the in out parameters. In parameters is you can send the value, but you cannot return any value from the your procedure. Out parameter is you will be send the parameter to the function or procedure, and you can store some value in that out parameter, and whatever the value which is stored in the out parameter, that you can retrieve after closing of your stored procedure also. That is, after execution of your stored procedure, you can use this out parameter and you can get the value from the out parameter. In out parameter is you can use the parameter as a parameter for sending the value. At the same time, you can also return the value from that parameter. That is, both for sending of values and returning of values, you can use the in out parameters. Okay, just like you can call it as in is only for read purpose, out is only for write purpose, in out is for read and write purpose. So like this, in the three ways you can create the parameters. So for creating of a stored procedure, this is a simple stored procedures are given here. Create procedure, PROC, or you can write complete procedure. Procedure name, then as, select star from products. So this is your procedure. Just your procedure is a select statement. This is a simple stored procedure, one line stored procedure. So another stored procedure is like to delete the item. Here I am sending some product ID, and that product ID has to be deleted from my table. Delete from products, where products ID equals to in products ID. And next one is to add the item, that is to insert a record into the table. For that I am taking out all the parameters required for as per the table, and we can execute the insert statement. Similarly, whenever you want to update it, and you can send your required parameters, and you can create your update statement. And for execution of this procedures, so that is one execution is within the database itself. You can execute your procedure with the procedure name, and you can send the parameters to that procedure, and it will be executed. But if you want to execute with a callable statement, then you need to create a callable statement object. Callable statement st equals to connection dot prepare call. The method is prepare call method, which creates a callable statement object. Then within the double quotes, you just use the curly braces, and within that you need to give a command as call your procedure name. So here we are executing a procedure products list, that is the first one, which gives us the total records from your table. Okay, so this is your callable procedure, and here I am specifying that st.execute query, so which executes this procedure and returns the complete record set, that is complete table data will be returned, so that I am storing into the result set. So whatever the records which are returned from this procedure, those will be stored in the result set, and that result set you can navigate, and you can access the data from that result set. Okay. So these are the two statements which we have apart from the statement object. One is a callable statement for stored procedures, and another one is the prepared statement for parameterized statements. Okay. So for today this is the class, and tomorrow we'll see some advanced topics.